Hello. Gonna wait a few minutes. See who's gonna join. I need to know if I'm being heard. Hey, Jewel, can you tell me if you hear me? Tell me if I'm loud and clear. Please tell me. Wendy, am I loud and clear? Give me a thumbs up. Please. Seems like there's a delay. Hey, lovely. Yes, I can hear you. Yay, yay, yay. Okay. Okay, here we go. I was asked to talk about my relationship. Hey, Larice, about my relationship. So, he says I don't have a permission. I can't hear you. Holly, seriously, everybody else can hear me. I don't know what to tell you. Everybody says they can hear me. Hi, Ron. Okay, so Peter and I met when we were 14 and 15. He was 15. So you can imagine we were literally kids when we, thank you, Larice. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, you can hear me now. Okay. So we were literally kids when we started. So, and then we did what relationships, tend to do. We thought we were thinking that we were going to get married. So we got married at age 20. And then we had the kids. We waited 4 years. There's some things we wanted to do before we had kids. So we had kids. And then, so we just were basically going through the routine of life the way, we weren't choosing any of this. This was literally just happening. When you look back on your life, you can see it went by how the thoughts were. You were just doing, we're still just doing what our thoughts were, reacting to the thoughts when we believe that we are the thoughts. So each person, you're attracted to a person, the perfect person for you. Now, you can either fight with that person and blame them for what's happening, for any argument that's going on. You can blame them, or you can say thank you to them, because they are bringing you a gift. No matter what's happening, whatever the relationship, the mother, the sister, the friend, whoever is saying something to you and it's hurting you, you feel contracted and pulling in, they are a gift to you. They are hitting something that's inside of you that you believe to be true that is not true. It's not true. It's causing this body to contract and blame and feel shame and anger and all of this shit, disappointment and all of that, only because you're blaming them. Once you look inside yourself and say thank you to them for triggering that in you. Hi, Kirk and Natalie and Cheryl. Gosh. So they're triggering something that's already been inside you. If you keep blaming the other person for causing you pain, you will never get out of the pain. You're going to go on your life blaming and resenting everybody, but life is going to keep handing you someone like the one you've banished from your life because they've so-called hurt you, until you realize that that hurt was already in you, and the hurt is caused by a thought that you believe about yourself that's not true. I'm not good enough is the number one thought, because you believe you're separate from the source. So you believe that there's something wrong with you. So when you believe there's something wrong with you, you believe that somebody else is doing something wrong. And it's not possible for anybody to do anything wrong. It's not possible. Entertain that. Entertain that thought. Ricky and I are here. Yay. Hi, Holly, Ricky. Hi, Rita. Yeah, Johnny D'Amico is in the house. Yahoo! Okay, so I'm heading to the bridge. You're such a... Oh, hi, Jennifer. Oh, my God, Noreen. Okay, so as that pain is hit by somebody out there, they're literally, this is a dream. Life is a dream, no different than the night dream. It's only this daydream is only seeming like a daydream because you believe that you're a person in it. At night, it's the same thing. The character is still doing its thing, but it's free to do whatever it does. There's no thought of I'm doing this. It's just going from thing to thing to thing. There's no I in it doing anything. When in the daydream, we believe that I'm doing it. You will never find an I, a person, a Lori inside the body. You'll never find it. It's literally life happening in the dream. The dream is not real. Hi, Peter Henry. So the dream is the timeline. You are that one consciousness. All of us are. Even Donald Trump, Johnny D'Amico, is that one consciousness. When that one consciousness is of a you is split off, when that baby, because that baby is one consciousness, it doesn't believe anything, it doesn't see anything, it's basically just laying there empty. It's empty. This message is about getting back to being empty. The mind is still going to know what it's been told, but it's empty. So when somebody comes up and says something to you, like a spouse, a girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, and hits something that pisses you off, they've only hit something that you're believing is true about yourself that isn't even real. So when you believe you're separate from that one source, that one consciousness, the source, spirit, whatever, you're never going to find a name for what you truly are. You just know that you're not these thoughts, this mind, or this body. That causes so much pain and suffering when you believe you are this body and mind and you're separate from the source because you feel like you can do shit wrong and so can the others. Now, in the dream, the others that look like there are others there, excuse me, you've put them there to trigger you. That pain and suffering that's going on inside of you, you've put them there so they can trigger you. So you can look and see what you're believing about yourself. Just like I said last night about me believing that I talk too much. Whenever somebody would say, would you just shut the fuck up? Oh, that would hurt so bad. Lori talks so damn much. That would just cringe. Once I saw that, everybody outside there was triggering that for me to look and see. I have a belief that I talk too much and there's something wrong with it. No, there isn't. Once I owned it, actually felt the pain of that belief, it's gone. It's gone. Anybody can say, actually, I say that I could talk to a damn tree. I talk so damn much. It doesn't matter. Johnny is my best one to try to push me, try to say whatever, trying to piss me off. It goes right. Makes me laugh because I don't believe this shit anymore about myself. So the pain gets healed so you can be with anybody. and not be triggered. The triggers are your friends. They are helping you to see. They are your gifts. So you can see where you're believing something that's not true about yourself. That's it. That's how simple it is. Thank you, Jesus. I will never sin again. There is no sin. There is no sin. We are all born told this thing that we're sinners and we're going to hell if we're not good because somebody's judging us. God is judging. That's not true. How much pain does that feel like? You think that you got to do good in order to get to heaven. Really? Think about that. Think about that. Really? Wow, that's suffering to the max. When you do something, when this body and mind does something and you say, Jesus, I don't know why I did that. Of course you don't, because you're not doing it. Life is doing it. Life is doing all of this for you, not to you. You are not a victim. No one is a victim. No one. Now that goes against everything. I mean, what about the poor, starving people in Ethiopia or whatever? They're not even real. That's part of the dream. You believe that to get that feeling of, oh, those poor people. Ew. That's not the way life was intended to be. You are God. Every one of us is that one consciousness. There's no separation between anything that is projected. You are projecting this whole dream. The baby did not know anything until it was told that's a computer, or it's a person first, and it takes on this idea of I'm a me, and then it starts getting told that it has a body, it has hands, it has eyes, it has ears, and that's a plant, that's a bird, that's all of that is we're told this. So that's what we see collectively. I mean, that's part of the dream, that collectively we all believe in the same thing. Whoever thought that this was a computer? Somebody put a label on this computer and it's doing it. That's how our imaginations are so freaking powerful, that all of this is being projected out of it when none of it is happening, because there's only a timeline of the dream. Oh, Peter just reminded me we're not about relationships anymore. It doesn't matter. I told her if she needs more, I'm going to talk to her privately anyway. So the timeline, there's the timeline. Once the baby starts believing that it's a person, it lives on a so-called timeline. That's the dream. It's not real, because all we have is now. Now, the past of the timeline and the future of the timeline is all thought. It lives in thought. Is thought real? Thought's not real. There is nothing real. It's just now. The mind is like a virtual sewing machine, sewing together the past, making it seem real, but literally it's only thought. Nothing ever happened. And all that belief in what happened is what's causing pain and suffering today. And you project it into the future. It's being projected into the future. It's not you. Well, the mind projects it, takes from the past, projects it into the future, creating the seeming timeline, which isn't real. All there is now. That's what I was talking about, the cross. Shit. I don't have anything. I don't have anything. Well, actually, I don't even have a pen. The cross. Jesus was on the cross, right? The timeline goes this way. This is the belief in separation from the up and down. Up and down of the cross is the now, and that's all that's real. Virtual sewing machine. Yes, Angelique. That's what it's, isn't that cool? My friend Rob gave me that one. It is like a virtual sewing machine, sewing all the nows together, making it seem like it really happened, but it's gone. That's only imagination. And it projects in the future. Imagination. All of this is imagined. It's imagined in here. It's not real. It's once this is realized, I'm telling you, it is a different, life is nothing like they told us. It is. It's nothing like they said. I'm beginning to see clearer and clearer as I go that once you realize that you're not this person, you're not separate from anything that's out there, including money. You are not separate from your relationships. They are all you. Every one of them is you. And money is you. And the only reason you're pinching it off or you believe you don't have enough is because you believe you're this person that's limited and is not enough. Along with the idea of the person is the belief that I'm not good enough. That comes along, and that's causing so much pain, believing that you're not enough. Once you realize that you are that consciousness, there's no I'm not enough anymore. It's just life happening in the timeline, in the dream, and you can be awake in it. Like Jesus says, awake in the dream. And fun, you can have so much fun when you're not attached to this body, believing that the thoughts and the body are you. Once that releases, and I found a way, a simple way to do this. What's happened for me is just sitting quietly. That's so hard for us to, we want to drown it out. We don't like that emptiness. We're afraid of that feeling of that void. It's like, it's uncomfortable. But you sit and you start breathing. You follow, bring that awareness down into your belly. Follow your breath. That takes your awareness away from the thoughts. And as you identify, the mind starts identifying with that space instead of with the thoughts that are constantly going across on the ticker tape. Once you start seeing that are identifying with the spaces between the thoughts, you take a breath. You realize that you're not those thoughts. So as soon as as that scene, the spaces between the thoughts get bigger. So when a thought comes up, since you're identified with the calm space between, you can see a thought clearly and go, okay, I'm not that. It's causing pain and suffering in the body, because when you're in the calm space, there's no pain and suffering. This body is at ease, just peace and ease. And it starts being identified with that peace and ease. Hi, Stace and Laura. And as it's the more and more identified you are with this peace and ease, when the thought comes up saying I'm not enough, or there's not enough money, or there's not, whatever is not enough, there's a contraction and you go, oh, there's a belief right there. There's a belief right there saying I'm not enough, or it's whatever's not enough, or somebody's done something to me. Nobody's ever done anything to you. Never. It's the most beautiful, freeing way to live. It just, when you breathe like that and just follow it down and let it go, and just keep your attention on it. Just what Bentinho said, 2 to 5 seconds periodically throughout the day starts making the gaps between the thoughts bigger, so you can actually have a break from them and you can relax in the body. There's just relaxation that happens. The shoulders come down, the belly's at ease. And you can go through, you're not afraid of life, believing that something's going to happen, something bad's going to happen. You're excited for life. When I wake up in the morning, it's like, what's it going to be today? Oh my God. It's just over the top. It's so much fun. It's just happiness. I mean, I annoy people. I know I annoy people, especially people who are miserable in themselves, because I'm happy. The more I annoy people, the more I know I'm on it. Oops. Because eventually they start seeing, wow, she's on to something, because she's happy and I'm not, or the idea of me isn't. Once the idea of you starts shedding, happiness just is a byproduct. It's just what is. Happiness is your true nature. Peace, happiness, joy, bliss. And bliss, holy, sometimes I just can't even believe. Yes, Johnny, miserable. You are miserable. But I love your miserable ass. Because you are me. God. You feel stronger when you feel okay, so that's another thing. Feel the vibration. Because when you're believing you're this person and you can do something wrong and they've done something wrong to me and I'm a victim and blah, 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 blame, shame, all that shit is very low on the vibrational scale. As you hear me talk, who you truly are, that one consciousness can feel it. Even if you don't understand it, you can feel it. So your vibration goes up. It feels good. You don't have to listen or understand what I'm saying at all. It's going to that one consciousness that you are. It feels it. So you can feel it coming up. And then the thoughts come back in. But if you do this practice of getting between the thoughts, the gap between the thoughts, following the breath, it takes the focus off the thoughts so you can feel that calmness, and it just keeps expanding until you're just flowing with life, looking forward to each and every moment, even though, moment to moment, that's all we have. But you can enjoy it all. And when you come up against somebody saying, oh, did you hear da 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 da? Like my girlfriend saying that so-and-so got fired from her job. How horrible. No, it's not. Nothing is a bummer. That's another thing. That's a concept. Just that's what helped me. Just repeat it. When somebody comes to you and says something, you feel the contraction in your body. No, nothing is a bummer. You don't have to say it out loud. Just say it to yourself and your mind will stop right there. It'll still want to try to say, oh God, but once you say nothing is a bummer, you'll feel the relief in the body. You'll feel it. And then eventually you start realizing that nothing is a bummer. Even though it looks like it, it's literally a dream. No one's getting hurt. No one. Even if they have cancer and they're dying, they're that oneness. There's nowhere to go. When there's a dead body, when you've seen a dead body, you say, oh, he's gone or she's gone. But that body's still there. Where did it go? Who went where? The body's still there, but he's gone. Huh. I guess maybe that body wasn't who they were. Ever. I love it. I love it. You guys don't have no questions. It sucks here sitting in the 80-degree weather in the jacuzzi in Maui. Yeah, I'm sure it sucks. All right. Wow, that was a rant. That literally, see, none of that. I don't know anything that's going to happen here when I talk. I have no idea what's going to come out. And blah, 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 blah. That's part of the life happening in the dream. I'm not, Lori, body, mind is not doing it. It is just part of, just like the heart's beating, the hair's growing, seeing, hearing, all of that is just happening. So is speaking. I used to think that talking happened because I was thinking. There's no thinking going on here when this is literally just coming out. clearly it's not being done by the thought me, the thought Lori, the idea of Lori. Whew. And I feel every time it happens, I'm like, wow. Because it literally just freaking flies out. Wow, 25 minutes. Wow. Okay. Now, Joe. Hi, Joe and Linda, Stacy, Kirsten Palm. Okay. Now, any of you, if you have a question, type it and I will answer it. Because it's so, a question gets me fired up. I mean, not that I wasn't fired up on my own, but I could be fired up by a question. If anybody has a question, go for it. I'd love to hear it. I'd love to just interact with you guys. Joe, awesome. It's so good to see all you guys here. Roseanne, awesome. Hi, Roseanne. Tell me more about the cross. Oh, the cross, Angelique. Okay. So the cross, the why can't I do this? Okay, the horizontal line of the cross is the timeline of the person. When the baby starts believing that it's a me and it's doing all of this, then it's believing all kinds, then it just starts piling on top of it more and more beliefs of what it is. I'm a boy, I'm a girl, I am short, I am tall. All beliefs of the mother, sister, whatever. It's all identification. I drive a Volvo. I live in a red house. All of that is identification. It's all piled on top of nothing, literally of nothing, but it's all a belief system that needs to go. None of it is true. None of it is true. So the timeline is all that identification. It's a time doesn't exist. Time is not real. No bird or nature doesn't go by a timeline. That's human. That's humans came up with the idea of time. There's no such thing. There's only now. Now, what? Honey, that's not by time. That's instinct. They know to go south at a certain, you could call it time, but it's not what it is. That's what we've put. Humans have put an idea. That's instinct. They just know the seasons. They change. Is that a certain time? No, we've put time to it. Time is not existent. It's literally not real. Just like all of this. All of this is imagination. It's literally it's living in your mind, in this mind. Okay. And the vertical is now. Now. That's all there is now. The rest of it is the timeline that doesn't exist. Albeit, as Einstein said, a persistent one. It does, of course, the body and mind is still going to play on this so-called timeline, but it's seeming. It's not real. You realize that it's seeming. And that's what takes away the pressure of the person, the contracted personhood. Once you realize it's not real, you can play in it. Like Jesus said, you're in the world, but not of it. Once you realize that it's not real. Anyway, okay. Actually, I love the French love guru. She is a special one. Oh, she has become my go-to favorite with the death of my best friend, Nancy. I flip her a lot of shit, but she's my gift in my life. I love her positivity on life. I hope she becomes a gift in your life. Like she has become a, Johnny, you're gonna make me cry. You have never, in all the time I've known you, ever said anything so sweet. Peter. Oh, I appreciate that, Johnny. I just love everybody because you guys are all me. You are no different than me. And Donald Trump is no different than me, us. He's no different. I believe he was put on this earth to wake the whole world up because everybody thinks he shouldn't be there. He shouldn't be doing this. He shouldn't be doing that. What the hell is he? And that anger is going on deaf ears because it's not changing him one bit. So it's making people go inside and see, because that anger, if you can't project it out there, you have to look inside yourself to find out, because it's just eating you up. It's that anger is ridiculous, really. It's just, but it's part of the suffering. So you can look inside and realize that there's nobody here and life is just happening beautifully. It's so beautiful. I tell you, it's once you see through it, it's just so liberating. And then you can start attracting. You can actually attract what you want in this dream. You don't have to believe you're not enough anymore. So you start attracting what you want. You start putting out there. You dare to dream when you think that you're this scared little person. Is Jody Lynn. Hi, Jody. When you believe you're this scared little person inside, you believe that everything is out to get you and you're not enough. So of course that pinches off anything. You're afraid to dream big. You're so afraid to spend money because you're never going to get any because you're not enough. There's not enough. There's never enough. There's never enough of anything. I remember exercising when I was younger. I exercised almost every damn day. And I remember going to an empowerment seminar in my 40s, and we started going over things that we did for our bodies. And I went, I literally had a belief that it wasn't enough. I was exercising every freaking day, but it wasn't enough. And when I wrote down what I did every day, yoga and exercising for an hour every single day, I was like, what the hell? Because you're believing, when you believe you're this person separate from God or consciousness or whatever, you believe that you're not enough. So nothing is enough when you're not enough. Oh, I was like, what the heck? And the money's never enough, and everything. It permeates every part of your life. When the lack thinking. Oh my gosh! Once I saw through this, which completely saw through that. Well, I don't know if it's complete, but I mean, as the biggest, how I'm Kevin Cloutier. Hello, Jackie. Hi, Jackie. Once you believe that you are enough and that lack is gone, I mean, I was seeing myself doing a wash downstairs, not wanting to use too much soap because I would have to go buy more soap. You start seeing where that idea of the lack permeates everything, makes you go to different gas stations to get the cheaper, makes you go 10 miles out of your way to go shopping to Walmart because Hannaford's not as well. It's so crazy, the lack thinking. And it's only because you believe that you're not enough and you're pinching off the flow. You could have thousands of dollars in the bank, but if you're not enough, it's not enough. It will never be enough when you think that you're this person separated from God or consciousness or whatever you want to call it, universe. You will never be enough when you believe you're this person. Once it's seen through, oh my God, everything changes. And then it's a free flow of life. And it is fun. And you're appreciating every single moment. Even the little tiny things, not the big things are over the top. It's like, wow. but the little things even are like, oh God. Anyway, I think the rant is over. Since no one has a question, God damn it, I have asked since the beginning of this about questions. Nobody asked me any questions. Bobby Bernard, hello. You are here almost every time. Thank you. I have so many people. Steve Bennett. Steve. Hi, Steve. Wow. You guys, oh my God, I'm just so, I love you all so much. Thank you for joining me. I think I'm over and out. I love you all. Mwah, because you are me. Have a great evening.